Welcome to North Shore Unitarian Church, where we are grounded in love, guided by reason, committed to spiritual growth, and striving for justice. Our church welcomes you whether you are a new visitor or a longtime member. You can learn more about our community at NSUC.org. We invite you to sign up for the newsletter so that we can get you connected to our many programs. There has never been a better time to become a member of North Shore Unitarian Church.
This week is different. It's our annual water communion. This ceremony is celebrated in Unitarian Universalist congregations across the country. We mingle waters in a common bowl, symbolizing our coming together for a new church year. And so we have an abbreviated service featuring a reflection from Reverend Lucas, a piece by our choir, and images of our members joining in water communion. We are glad that you're with us today. In the spirit of togetherness, let us light our chalice with these words. This flame affirms the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment.
This week, Charlie Kaufman's new film came out on Netflix. Based on the novel by Ian Reid, it's called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It is by turns depressing and unsettling, philosophical and poetic. In one scene towards the end, a character offers this reflection. Time passes through us, blowing like a cold wind. I feel like I was that wind tonight, blowing through Jake's parents, seeing them as they were, seeing them as they will be, seeing them after they're gone and only I'm left. The vantage point in this quotation is stunning, like someone watching all that is valued as it disintegrates and blows to dust before our eyes. It is what made me draw the conclusion that this is a film for the moment. It captures the feeling of many in late 2020, the loneliness of the pandemic, the fear of hurricanes and fires, the normalizing of hate, the ecological damage, the utter exhaustion with another news cycle about our president. It is the feeling of watching time pass through the things that we love until they crumble and blow away. The novel that the movie is based on is not much more optimistic. However, it contains a line with the weight of both truth and hope. And that line is this. People talk about the ability to endure anything and everything, to keep going, to be strong. But you can do that only if you're not alone. That's always the infrastructure that life's built on. It's a closeness with others. So how do we stop our hearts from freezing in this moment? How do we prevent our values and the things that we love from blowing away in the wind and our heartache for the world becoming all that's left? My belief, my thought is that it's us, it's community, it's being here today together. Now, there is a platitude that is said too often. I know that I have probably uttered it too often. It's that we are needed now more than ever. But as I contemplate the difficulties of our world today, compounded by the feelings of loneliness and isolation that people have, I can't help but think that that is true. Our church community is needed now more than ever. We need our church community now more than ever. We need the rituals like the water communion, that draw us in to be with one another. We need the small groups where we can share our hopes and our values. We need the teams and the committees that make choices and take actions to carry our values out into the world. We need to be with our children and our elders and our families. We need the worship services and the anti-racism programs and the religious education classes that embody our values and our principles. And I want to say, and I can hear myself saying this, and I know that it's almost ridiculous, but I find myself yearning for the finance reports and the committee minutes and all of the hours of planning that will go into our next project. I need all of the fiddling and frustration with Zoom and Realm and YouTube and the miscommunications. I need all of you in all of that. I need each one of you in my life as we steer each other through the uncertainty of this moment. Because today it just all feels so needed, so much like holy work, like what we're doing is needed now more than ever. Like there is no other place in the world than we should be than here together, building the infrastructure of life, the infrastructure of community, the infrastructure of hope. Carolyn Forche is an award-winning poet, and her verse often deals with the jagged edges of the world, the hard political and social realities that can sometimes make others flinch. Her new collection, In the Lateness of the World, is no different. 3 of her most inspiring lines come at the end of a poem detailing a long and uncertain journey. I would like to offer those lines by way of closing. You say you are a poet? If so, then our destination is the same. I find myself now the boatman driving a taxi at the edge of the world. I will see that you arrive safely, my friend. I will get you there. Yes. Through these uncertain times, may we see each other safely there, together, in love. I love you. Let us celebrate together the ingathering of a church year and the water communion of this beloved community. And so the waters of our community are gathered. We have gathered together for another church year. May we find the love that is so present in the interactions that we have with one another in this place. May we find those even in this strange and different time. And may we find ever new ways to carry forth that love into a wider world that needs it. May it be so, and amen.